Okay, Maronebo. Paul Maronebo. But I'm on your no cafe. Okay, you know that. Well, then they go on the day. It's our baker, you know that. You know, I can't FM. So I be a meeting is around. I see lion operative. What are you talking about? But as I said, we resolve these things. But this is how I'm telling you that an ordinary person can move into the place of being a part of a big thing. So I've talked about corporation, and I've talked about corporations, limited liability companies. The one which I'm going to talk about now is the cooperative. Now, what you get from a cooperative is the same thing you get from a corporation. But it is not registered or incorporated in the Corporate Affairs Commission. It's incorporated or registered in the Ministry of now it's Commerce and something. The procedure is simple, is uncomplicated. Cooperatives are tax exempt. One tax. Cooperatives, normally when you're incorporating a limited liability company, you can only incorporate between a shareholding of 2 people, shareholder 2 to 50. If you go beyond 50, it becomes a public company. And you can't do a public company without going to the regulatory authorities, which is SEC and such places. If not, everybody will be doing corporate, you know. But with a cooperative, I am a member. Which means that this agri you're talking about, or whatever we're talking about, the vehicle that is best suited for it is to set up a cooperative. That is what I told my classmates. ANGUS was the first principal of Igbobi College. And so we used ANGUS. Like I said, but when I quarreled with them in Landmark, I told them that, you know what I mean? That I will replicate this thing. You know, that this is your Landmark. We will do it again. Once you say I will go to Igbobi College and gather Igbobi because we want to do Igbobi. Okay? But the first time I set up the company for them, they didn't take it seriously. But 15 years after we came back. So we set this thing up 5 years ago. In December of 2017, I went to London and I was telling my family, my son is here, that we now have 1 million naira. Our first 1 million naira. As of today, the contributions of ANGUS is 300 million. And the undertaking of ANGUS is worth about 600 million. And it has happened with no loans, nothing. Simple contributions from month to month. So, what do I recommend for Funding? Because of this young man I know, who I can see wide awake. I can see him maybe from the spiritual way that he's wide awake. I recommend that we set up a cooperative. If we want to use the cooperative to farm anything, we will use it to farm. If we want to use the cooperative, one of the proposals there was Igbobi College, ANGUS, is one man not still on at home way. So he has said that he needs $1 million to scale his business. Every business has to be scaled. Okay? If it's not scaled, you just be doing one man and his son. Okay? So I allowed them to talk because somebody was president. So I will allow them to talk. But I knew they were talking nonsense. I just told them that if I have $1 million, I will turn the whole Aba on the team that own way. I will turn the whole thing into a cooperative. Everybody there will be working for us. Now, how are you going to be able to do that? How are you going to be able to work it out? What kind of cooperatives? There are different kinds of cooperatives. Our cooperative is called the multi-purpose cooperative. So we can do different kinds of things. Most cooperatives are savings and loans. So people save and take money. We don't save. We are not doing savings and loans. Okay? So all our money is there. We have invested money in real estate. We've bought property in Alaro, in the EPZ. We've bought property in Isimi. We've invested money in gold. Gold is solid. It's always solid. Okay? Gold and if we like matter, all of the money would have been in gold. Okay? We've invested money. There's something else. There's a young man in Itemiba. I am Peter. Peter Imo. All your cousin. It's very important that for you because you see all these young men are very well and I understand what they do. Peter is an expert with artworks. And the greatest place and where wealth is being stored now is in earthworks, because it can be turned into cash so easily. You can now go for the frame, may roll up, we would give up. The thing, okay, and artworks are going for incredible sums of money. So I don't know in Lagos. One of the reasons why we should not be buying land in Lagos is that they can change the rules anytime they want to now. They can change the rules at any point in time. And the process for being able to realize your money is so long before you get governor's consent and all those things. So there are so many different areas that you can be able to invest in. What kind of cooperative you want. I can advise on the processes. I can advise, but I will not at this stage in my something video, because it's going to have to be driven by you gentlemen. Choose the people. Is the cooperative going to be a Lagos cooperative? Maybe, but you have to look at it. Should it be registered in Lagos? The latest company which I incorporated, our head office go Anyanya go Imo House, Ojinta, Amapa, Amokwite. Okay? So that anytime you are looking for us, we're not going to try Ramapu. You know, Ojinta, you know, Gacha Ibo, okay? There are benefits in it, okay? But if we set it up in Lagos here, the only thing is that, is it going to be based in Lagos? Is it going to be open for only Lagos, Item community Lagos? What about those people like people in Abuja? What about ND? ND in Ibadan? Is there anything we are going to be doing that we should not call it ND? You know? There are lots of people from all over the place who are value added. So maybe it should be in Item. The only thing is that once in a year, you will have to do a general meeting. And I don't know Monday East who are serious enough. Because Yana no one know where is. Finally. The thing that carried us, Mresa, in this our cooperative, because I'm the president, I have carried this thing in such a way that the integrity factor is beyond reproach. Even when we are supposed to collect money, we don't collect. The registered office of this cooperative is this my house. Okay? We don't charge anything. Everything is done in such a way that the members of the cooperative don't spend anything. Of course, this whole thing is completely not going to happen. Because during the war, I don't beg him. Although I is most here monoton because here and the very is all over the place. And integrity is of the highest consequence. So when you are going to be setting up your cooperative, there is no possibility whatsoever that anybody will be able to take out anything that belongs to everybody. This is MC Kampire. And the American, you can set up an American cooperative if you are many enough. And the okay, you can set up an okay cooperative. And the Ihunanya Bundu, at the age of 60, no, what about 50. If you want to set up, well, no, they're 57 you know, they're 57. If you think you're strong enough to set up a cooperative, but one of the things about the cooperative is that you make monthly contributions, and you should make that monthly contribution. If it is 1,000 naira, make a 1,000 naira contribution. If it is 10,000, our own minimum was 10,000 naira, and then we moved up to 20,000 naira. There are some people who are telling me now, one person just started saying he would contribute 1 million naira every month, because he has seen that his money is safe. The only law in the cooperative is that no one person can own more than 25%. That's why we could not do this. But I recommend to you, my brothers and my sisters, that Lagos Arabia, Obrafia, let us hold ourselves tight together, and let us make sure that when we are leaving this place,